This is the Cyber Pro podcast. I'm Rick Mishka. Thank you so much for being on it. It's 5 questions in 9 minutes because hackers never sleep. Alex, let's just jump right in. Question number one: who are you and what do you do?
Sounds good. I'm Alex Yee. I'm a security engineer at Cyborg Security. In a nutshell, we have created a threat hunting platform that equips other cyber professionals with crafted and validated content. And that's in the form of threat hunt packages and intel, which gives teams the ability to actually threat hunt and search for malicious behaviors and hopefully find a bad guy, or, hopefully not find a bad guy, confirm that they're not in there. But I personally help manage and build the infrastructure so the smarter guys can do their thing. And also help in the contextualization, which also in a nutshell is putting context to the content that's in a threat hunt platform.
That's awesome. I'm super excited to learn more about that and talk to you and dive deeper into the threat hunting. But let's jump into that second question. Why do you love being in cybersecurity?
It's a loaded question. Relevance of the knowledge that I learn every day is a big thing. That's a couple things to me. With our reliance further and further on complex things, networking technologies, emerging technologies, there's always something new, and that can be good and that can be bad, unfortunately, concerning these advancements. So we as a community and me as a professional, get to evolve and understand more and more and learn, kind of level up with these new advancements, and keep me on my toes every day. And working off that, the importance of the work comes to mind, like from the most highest to the greenest level. Couple examples would be, the new IT professional being that first line of defense, keeping up with the endpoints up to date, being that first gate to a potential actor that gains initial access and proliferates to that threat hunter that is trying to find behaviors that lead them to finding something malicious on their network. I guess putting it all together, it's really cool to be a part of all of that, and reason is because everyone's important. Everyone plays their role.
That's awesome. I love the human factor in what you talk about.
Yeah.
So that's a great segue into the third question. What do you think this means? Cybersecurity is a top concern, and I use the air quotes because I can, but also because it's kind of the buzzword of the day. So what does cybersecurity as a top concern mean to you?
I think it means that leaders are starting to realize the importance of cyber, regardless of industry. Realization that anyone can get hit, anyone can get exploited. There's a new vulnerability, there's a new exploit, there's a new something every day with these smart, malicious actors. It doesn't matter if you're retail, it doesn't matter if you're, government, technology, whatever it might be, you're still in the crosshairs. And speaking from my conscience, if once you ask that question, I say it's about time. Unfortunately, there are some people that still don't make that as a top concern. But with the publicity and the prevalence of things such as ransomware, and I guess more specifically like Log4Shell, knowing that it kind of reaches out and hits everybody, I feel like that's going to continue to evolve.
I like it. I like the idea of it's timely, and I think that's important. I don't think it's going to change, right? It's not going to change anytime soon. It's going to continue forward.
No.
What insight do you want to share with our network and our community of cyber professionals?
So insight-wise, I personally would like to focus on talking to the newer and the prospective cyber professionals. I think a lot of the guys that's already there with the experience, they know what they're doing. They have they have what they do in mapped out and everything. But when I started, I was a deer in headlights. Was working with some really smart, but more so really great people that allowed me to stumble, allowed me to fail. But it felt like not knowing how to swim, deciding to run up to the diving board and jumping off into the deep end. Whole lot of thrashing, whole lot of kicking to stay afloat. But ultimately I stood afloat. And especially coming from a sales background, what's it called, and criminal justice degree, growing up, and just not having that experience, but just passion for technology. So kind of what I would say is to these new professionals is, do your trainings, do your certs, but understand it won't click until you are in the thick of it, until you're, in the weeds. And don't be discouraged by the thrashing and kicking. You're going to get there. When you do, you'll start thrashing, kicking some more because something new comes out. I do that every day. You can ask everyone I work with, I'm sure. So what I say is just get comfy. It's a process. You're going to have to ride it out. And completely unrelated, I'm going to say, let me slide it in that you should automate your processes securely. Pass your creds encrypted but not in the clear. That's a big thing that I've learned recently, and I've got more experience with, and how much it saves time and keeps my psyche level. I'll give that little tidbit.
Well, no, that's great. And you and I have actually a pretty similar background, sales, different experience, and then moving into the cyberspace. And so I'm going to throw in a quick bonus question for you because you kind of added to the automation piece.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new folks coming in that automation could help make better faster, right? I'm a new cyber professional, and I come into a company and they have a bunch of stuff automated. Do you think that that is a bad thing, right? Do you think that me coming in new and a good automation program allows me to grow faster, or am I missing things that you and I maybe didn't miss because we had to go through the slog of it? So,
Um, so I don't think it's a bad thing. I think with automation and the steps you take to automate things, you are still going through the process. You're still going through the process of building it out, of messing up, having those errors, kind of understanding how things click and how things turn. Um, and having a process in place allows you to kind of watch it as it goes through. I've had some experience with different tools. I guess one that comes to mind would be like Ansible, for example. There's different playbooks with each like step to it, right? That you kind of see, and you can. I think a lot of automating tools have the same thing. So you kind of see how it works from the innards, and I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's going to mess with the progress at all.
awesome. Final question for you. Fun question. What's your favorite piece of retro technology that makes you smile?
See, I was thinking about that. It took me like 10 minutes to think about it. I was going from floppy disk, I was going from this, that. But it's funny, I settled in on CD-ROMs. And I feel older. I'm 35 years old, and I think CD, you say CD, and my nieces and nephews will understand. But when I say CD-ROM, they're like, what's that? What's a CD-ROM? And the reason why is when I stream music, when I download video games, since it's all digital, it doesn't have that sense of wonderment that you have when you have that jewel case or that video game physically in your hands. I remember specifically when the first Halo came out on Xbox, and I had that in my hands, or a new album I was waiting for, and it was just different. It just feels different than waiting on a progress bar to complete, and I can kind of jump into it. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I love it. I love it. We actually just had this conversation the other day. My car doesn't have a CD player. And it makes me so sad because I have so many CDs and I used to burn CDs, right? You remember those days.
Oh
Here's
yeah,
your mixtape.
I had Nero burning and everything. The
Yeah.
software, and this like my laptop here. I'm trying to find a CD. I'm like, oh, I should be good. I can throw in a CD in here. Nothing has CD-ROMs anymore either. So
No,
I don't know, man. I think we're getting old. Maybe I don't know.
maybe. Alex, it was great having you on the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
You did it. You made it to the end. Check us out for more content.